Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1. This is Chucky, and this is Superhero Showdown. And at the end of last season, I talked about the stuff that's going on. The last episode was back in May. This is the new season. This is July the 17th, 2017, and let's get going. So first off that I want to talk about is I'm going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I did not have a chance to talk about it before. I thought Guardians was a good movie. I thought, well, not on the same par as the first. It was really good. I like the dichotomy, bringing in Ego the Living Planet, bringing in the ways to bring in Adam Warlock, the Ravagers, making them in there. What's really cool is actually seeing the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie. Like at the end of the movie, they were in there. Stallone's character was really good. I thought Drax, I wish there was more like action with Drax. Baby Groot seemed to be a very big vocal point. He had a lot of key sayings because people remember that Groot was a very well sought over character in the first film, so why not put Groot in there? I thought the villain, you really didn't know what the villain was until you got towards the end, which is a nice little kind of old school thing that doesn't happen too often. As well, you have, I thought that it could have been, it made you hate certain aspects of the original film when you realize the real reason that Star-Lord's mom passed away, the real reason she got cancer, and when you realize that Star-Lord was almost a throwaway, and Yondu, you made him appreciate him more than you did when watching the first film. So all in all, I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was a really good film. I liked a lot of the aspects of the film, and now let's move on to movie I saw recently, which is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming had a lot of good things going for it. Now, one negative is they make Tony Stark look like, kind of look like an asshole, which he's been looked like an asshole in a lot of these films. But it also made Peter Parker be desperate to be an Avenger. Now, I understand there is going to be spoilers here, by the way. Towards the end of the film, it really went in there and tried to make him a little bit better, a little bit more. You really grew to like Peter Parker because all Spider-Man was trying to do was do the right thing. And speaking of doing the right thing, they did the right thing by the villains in this movie. The villains in this movie were really good. You had, of course, the Vulture at the top of the heap with Michael Keaton playing the Vulture, playing a really good villain. There's little elements of Batman in there at times, which is kind of cool. I like how evil he could be at times, but everything was for his family, which Adrian Toomes, there could have been more to that in there. Another thing would be Shocker. There's two Shockers in this movie, and I kind of prefer the first Shocker. Now, the Shocker that took place later on, I'll just remember the Black Shocker. He was kind of cool. He had more scenes, but the first one, man, he was just balls to the wall. He's what I always envisioned, because Shocker's one of my favorite characters. And to me, Shocker is great in that aspect. And then you see Matt Gargan in the movie. And once they say the name Matt Gargan, you know exactly where that's going. If you're a Spider-Man fan, that's a Scorpion. There's a lot of world building, a lot of character building in this film. Great action sequences. You have the Wrecking Crew in there. You have it kind of shows like the timeline's a little misconjungled, but Spider-Man as a whole, it's a great film, and it opens up so many questions that you want to ask yourself. one of those questions would be, where is it going, and how connected is the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Sony Cinematic Universe going to be attached to each other? Because they kind of reference that he has some other guys in a post-credit scene, which could be Kraven, Mysterio, the Chameleon, the Lizard, Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin, the Rhino. It could be all sorts of different incarnations. It really could. But this brings us to what's been going on for the past couple months. Now, a few months ago, it was announced that there's going to be a Venom movie. There's going to be an R-rated Venom movie. Okay? It was announced Tom Hardy's going to be Venom. And then, from that point, people started wondering, well, is Spider-Man going to be in there? Well, Spider-Man's not going to be that movie. Venom's going to be kind of the hero, anti-hero, and he's going to be battling against Carnage. So the big question is, who's going to play Carnage? If it's rated R, what is it going to be? The original reincarnation of Carnage, where he's a serial killer? And then they also announced that there's going to be a Black and Silver movie, which is going to be Black Cat and Silver Sable. And that down the line they want to do Sinister Six still, which I still think it's a good idea to do Sinister Six, because there's so many dichotomies, there's so many characters you can go, because there's so many incarnations of the Sinister Six. And there's the way they've been doing certain things. I think that Miles Morales might pop up in the cinematic universe, which means you could have Ultimate Spider-Man over here, and over here you got Peter Parker. I would be in the seventh heaven if they also brought in Miguel O'Hara and you got Spider-Man 2099. That'd be awesome. I've noticed recently, never say never when it comes to superhero movies. And it seems like Sony, Fox, and Marvel are getting everything lined up. While Sony has the Spider-Man universe, Fox has announced that they're going to do more X-Men movies and more X-Men universe. So, not just X-Men, but you're going to have the New Mutants is coming out, which is going to be more of a horror-themed show. You have Cable going to be in the next Deadpool movie. It's going to be Josh Brolin as Cable. X-Force is on the horizon. The next X-Men movie is Dark Phoenix. And the next X-Men movie will have the returning James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, and all the ones that played Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Quicksilver. It's going to be a really good. Hopefully they can get Dark Phoenix done right, but then there's other movies. But then there's movies like What Happened to Him. And one of those would be Gambit. Like, what happened to the Gambit movie? The movie that never happened was in development, but I really don't see it happening. There's a lot of other properties that they can go for. I'm really looking forward to what they can do. Now, X-Men is a vast universe. There's a lot of different teams, and with the new X-Men movies, they can do a whole lot. Now, while they can do a whole lot, let's talk about the DC Cinematic Universe and its floundering effect. Now, first off, Man of Steel. Now, this is my perspective, my opinion. If you want to jump down my throat, I don't give a shit, because this is my opinion. I'm not, you see me, I love Batman. I'm not a Marvel fanboy. I'm not a DC fanboy. I'm a comic book fan. So don't try and come at me with all this fanboy bullshit. So, what it is DC has not done well. I did not like Man of Steel. I thought they made Clark Kent really dark, really gritty, and some of the choices in the movie doesn't make sense to me as Superman. And then from there, you have the Batman vs. Superman, which, if you really want to see how I feel about that, on this channel, I have my Batman vs. Superman review. I didn't care for it. Then you go forward, and you have Suicide Squad. which I was so high hopes for. Jared Leto as the Joker, Suicide Squad team. It wasn't good. There were so many problems with that. The studio didn't know how to keep their hands out, and I thought it was crap on such a level. And it's just, I'm thinking to myself, and then all these problems that keep popping up. Okay, Justice League. Justice League has been filming for a while now. Like over a year they've been filming. And yes, Zack Snyder had a family emergency and had to leave the project. And they brought in Joss Whedon to do 3 additional months of filming. So if you've already been filming for a year, and now you have to do 3 additional months, there's something wrong with the product, there's something wrong with the movie. And now a report has come out that the guy who plays the villain of the movie, that plays Steppenwolf, never even interacted with any of the actors. So you're telling me a fully CG character never interacted with them. You go from that. I know a lot of people in the comments are going to bring up, well, what about Wonder Woman? What about Wonder Woman? I did not see Wonder Woman, and I will tell you why. It looked like a Captain America ripoff. I didn't get a sense of anything that interested me. I've never really been a Wonder Woman fan, and everything I saw screamed Xena Warrior Princess during World War I. So I really couldn't care less about that movie. But you pick one positive, and I'm going to go through all the negatives. You have Flash, has lost director after director after director. You have over 30 titles that DC has unleashed to the public. We're going to do the Siren Sisters with Batgirl, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. We're going to do Teen Titans. We're going to do Nightwing. Nightwing interests me, though. We're going to do the Batman. We're going to do Superman 2, where we're going to introduce Supergirl. We're going to do the Green Lantern Corps. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. The only movies that physically have been filmed or in production right now is Aquaman, Justice League, and that's it. They can't nail down a Flash director. The Batman, they basically took all of Affleck's script, like the whole thing. They're taking it away and they're starting from scratch. So that shows you how much faith. They're just, for years, they haven't had a direction that they're going to go. There is no Kevin Feige to say, this is what we're doing, this is our plan, these are the movies that we're doing, we're not changing anything. Instead, one little hiccup, and they're like, we're going to change direction here, we're going to change direction there. I don't know what the problem is with DC. When Marvel can say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do Thor Ragnarok, done, in the can. We're going to do Black Panther, done, in the can. We're going to do Avengers Infinity War, it's done. We're doing Spider-Man Homecoming, it's done, and it's making a lot of money. So I look at it, and I look at everything that they're doing, and everything they're not doing right. Yeah, I know Jeff Johns is part of the project now. I know Justice League Dark is on the slate as well. But the problem is, you can have all these things lined up, but if you don't fully take them, then you're not going anywhere. It's just, I don't understand what DC is doing when, yeah, Fox. Let's take Fox for example. Fox has had a couple of hiccups. Was Fantastic Four a great movie? No. Was that Deadpool thing in front of Logan good? No. But you had Deadpool, which was awesome. You had Days of Future Past, X-Men, which was awesome. You had Logan, which is a fantastic film. And yes, X-Men Apocalypse didn't fully get what a lot of us wanted, but At least they're trying. Sony knew that they were screwing up, so they went and talked to Marvel, and then what happened? Picture perfect Spider-Man movie. And then you have Marvel knocking out of the park movies that you would never expect to do well. Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are two movies that, for all intents and purposes, you could never fathom to work. You could never fathom that they would be even great. They even went to the Netflix area, and you have, well, yes, Luke Cage and Iron Fist weren't that great, but a lot of people like Jessica Jones. Daredevil, perfect. Punisher's on the way. It's all about what you can do to really, and now we got all these superhero shows coming to TV. Now, yes, you do have the CW universe, which I don't personally watch, but you got the Runaways coming to Hulu. You got West Coast Avengers, I think it's going to be called, with Squirrel Girl and a couple other characters coming as well. Now, one thing DC is doing right, and they get a lot of viewers, is their CW universe, or Gotham. You have Gotham, you have Supergirl, you have Flash, you have Arrow, you have Legends of Tomorrow. They're working on a Teen Titans live-action TV show as well. And these are all things that point to something positive for what's coming. Now, how do I feel about these things? I think they could be good, they could be bad. But there is also other comic book companies that are trying to get their product back out there. I know Image is still trying to get that Spawn movie made. Valiant has a movie they're working on, which is a lot of their really good properties. Like, it's called Ninjax. The Valiant is actually what I grew up reading. I read a lot of those because they actually sold them at a dollar store where I grew up, and they were good. Like, I like Supreme. I think Supreme is really cool. I know Exo Manowar is going to be in the movie. It's going to be pretty good when you have other companies trying to bring their properties in. So, now this episode's been kind of a rant, but this is Superhero Showdown, Episode 1 for Season 2. And I am signing off, and I will see each and every one of you guys next week.